Boker Tov, Rabbi, you're live.
Boker Tov. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Ryan, Mordechai. Thank you so much for hosting this shir and the many other shirim that we do. The best way to begin this new semester of learning every morning at 9:15 in the morning is by giving you great news that as of last night, we have 770 videos uploaded to our YouTube channel of Chabad of Rechavia Nachlaot. That is a special zchut, a great number. And Mir Hashem, you're all welcome to watch and to listen to many of the shiurim, as well as subscribe to our channel. We have close to 400 people already, and our goal is to double it in the next 2 months. So Mir Hashem, please help us in this mission of spreading around the link. Hopefully we'll be sending it around later on today. During the summer months, it is customary to learn the Pirkei Avot, the ethics of our fathers. The ethics of our fathers is the Mishna. It's one of the tractates of the Mishna. And every Shabbat, we do a chapter. There are 6 chapters. So when we finish by Shavuot, one cycle, then we go on to another cycle until Rosh Hashanah. Why do we learn Pirkei Avot during the summer months? There are mainly 2 reasons for that. Number one is because since in the summer months, the sun shines more, and according to the Kabbalah, the sun is compared to the name of Hashem, Yud and a Hey and a Vav and a Hey, the Tetragrammaton, and the shield for the sun is called the Magen, like it says in which is a shield, like it says in the verse, Ki Shemesh Umagen Hashem Elokim. So therefore, it's a very auspicious time to become holier, to become more connected to Hashem. Therefore, the Talmud tells us, with regards to Pirkei Avot, anyone that wishes to become a chassid, a pious person, he should learn the tractate of Avot. So is there a better time to become higher and climb the ranks of Kedusha than during the summer months, especially in the Shabbat? This is the best opportunity. That's as far as we talk about Asay Tov, going in positive levels. But then we have another concept, and that is a more materialistic concept, if you will, and that is that during the summer months, people tend to act more relaxed and perhaps less modest, and therefore it can be inappropriate to look everywhere in the street, because you might see things which are not appropriate for a Torah person, for any Jew to see or to experience. And therefore, we need to have an extra measure of encouragement and piety that we learn through the Pirkei Avot. Last year, between Pesach and Rosh Hashanah, we were grateful to learn every morning Pirkei Avot from Perek Aleph to Perek Gimel, from the beginning of the first chapter until the end of the 3rd chapter. And our goal, Be'ezrat Hashem, throughout the next few months, is to learn from Perek Daled, from chapter 4, until the end of chapter 6, Be'ezrat Hashem. So let's not wait another moment. Let's go right into the Pirkei Avot Perek Daled. You can look it up online. Maybe you have a Sidur or a Mishna at home, or perhaps you have you can go on our website, jerusalemchabad.org, and I'm sure you can find Pirkei Avot. Do a search in the top right corner, and you'll Pirkei Avot, the ethics of our fathers, and you should be able to find both the Hebrew text and the English text. We also have an amazing library of perhaps many thousands, if not more, books, video, audio on our website. So look around. It's very popular, Jerusalem Chabad, Okay, so this is how the first Mishnah reads. The first Mishnah in Perek Daled in chapter 4. Ben Zoma Omer. Ben Zoma was one of the Tanaim, one of the authors of the Mishnah, and he said as follows. Ben Zoma says 4 messages. So from the beginning of the Mishnah, Ben Zoma Omer. Ben Zoma says, Eizehu Chacham, who is considered a wise person? The answer is Halomed Mikol Adam, he who learns from every person. In other words, you think you know it all? No, we have a lot to learn. And even from someone who doesn't appear to be too wise, every single person has something to contribute to humanity. Every person. If not, they wouldn't be here. The fact that they're here is because at this minute, at this moment, in this day, at this time, this person has an ability to contribute to humanity something that no one else in the world does. So you want to learn? Open your eyes, open your ears, look around to become wiser and wiser. Shene'amar, as the verse states, David HaMelech says in the Tehillim, Mikol malamdai iskalti, I have become wise from all of my teachers. Ki edvotecha sichali, for your testimonies are a pleasant talk to me. And so David HaMelech himself says, I've learned from all of my teachers. Sometimes there are some children who they know right away which teacher is a good teacher. They have their antennas way up. And which teacher is not really on the top of the line. Like my father says, when you go to a doctor, you never know if they graduated in the top or the bottom third of the class. So in every profession you have that, and some are better, and some are can do much better. So David HaMelech says, and this is something which we have to take to heart and also to teach our children, that it's not like we have a choice to go to this teacher or to go to that teacher. Mikol malamdai iskalti. I've become wise, I've learned from all of my teachers. Point number 2. Eizehu gibor. Who is a strong person? Who is a strong person? Interesting question. Roll up the sleeves and you'll see how big the muscle is. No, the answer is hakovesh et Yisroel. He who conquers his evil inclination. Because he's strong, he's powerful. He's able to conquer his inclination and not to give in. You need power, you need energy in order to accomplish that. Shene'amar, as it says in the verse, Tov erech apayim migibor, someone who is patient is better than a strong person. Umoshel berucho, and someone who controls his spirit, milochet ir, someone who conquers a city. So that is true strength of someone who has an inner strength, not just in his physical muscles, but an inner power to become a better person and not to give in to every little craving that comes to his plate. Point number 3, Eizehu Ashir, who is a rich person, who is a wealthy person? Here's the answer, a 2-word answer, Hasameach bechelko, someone who is happy with his lot. Shene'amar, it says in the verse, Yegia kapecha. This verse is from the Tehillim. You work hard with your hands, kitochel, then you can eat. You can benefit from your work when you work hard. Ashrecha, praiseworthy are you, v'tov lach, and is good to you. Why does it have a double expression? Ashrecha v'tov lach, praiseworthy to you, and it is good for you. Because the pasuk is talking about two different scenarios. Ashrecha, praiseworthy to you, ba'olam hazeh. In this world, you're a good person if you can work hard and you can have parnasa and feed your family and give tzedakah. That's good for you in this world. The tovlach, the second expression, it will be good for you. That refers to la'olam haba, to the world to come, either to olam haba, Gan Eden, the Garden of Eden, after the neshama leaves the body after 120, 180. Olam haba, better yet, refers to when Mashiach will come. And this will be the eternal world of good. And finally, Ben Zoma says, point number 4, Eizehu mechubad, who is an honorable person? Here's the answer. Hamachabed et habriot, someone who honors the creations or the creatures. What does it mean who honors the creatures? I should say, Hamachabed et ha'adam, he who honors people. What do we honor? Cats and dogs? We act kind to them, but I'm not sure if it would be called honor per se. So why does it say in the Mishnah, Hamachabed et habriot, he who honors the creations? And the answer is that there are some people that have obvious special qualities. Some people are smart, some people are kind, some people are wealthy, some people they look good, but there are some people who don't have any specific special quality per se, at least that they know of or that others know of. So you see them walking in the streets, and do I have to respect them? Answer is yes. Someone who honors even someone who doesn't have any other special quality aside from the fact that they are a creation of Hashem, that enough is a reason to respect them. Shenamar, as it says in the pasuk, Ki mechabdai achabed. Hashem says, for those that honor me, I will honor. Uvozai, and those that shame me, embarrass me, yekalu, they will be shamed. So we'll see. What do we see? That someone who honors other people or others, they themselves become honored. So it's very interesting. The common denominator between all of these 4 statements from Ben Zoma is that Ben Zoma is informing us of something innovative, something different, a new idea, a new concept that we may not be aware of if you just ask every Tom and Harry off the street. Let's start from the beginning. What is the first statement that he says? Eizehu chacham, who is a wise person? So let's go to King George Street over here in Jerusalem, and let's do a survey. Let's ask every person, who do you think is a chacham? Who would categorize as being a wise person? One person will say if they learn in yeshiva. Another person will say if they spent 8 years in university. Another person is going to say that if to see what kind of job they have. And every person is going to answer a different way of understanding and categorizing and interpreting this specific category. Chacham, a wise. One person will say it's a wise guy. Another person will say it's the chacham like we have in the Manishtana, the wise son. Comes along Ben Zoma in the Mishna and says as follows. D, you got it all wrong. It's none of the above. Maybe that's E. He says, if you want to know who is wise, maybe you guys have a little bit of a point on King George Street. But if you want to really know who is wise, what truly, deeply categorizes, defines what a chacham is, Let me tell you. Come along with me. I'll take you for a little journey. Halomed mikol adam. He who learns from every person. Now, if you were to ask a regular person in the street, does that really define if that's a wise person? They'll say, no way, the exact opposite. Someone who's wise, he doesn't need anybody else. That's actually the nature of intellect, or someone that's an intellectual. What is the nature? That they want to be alone. Unlike someone who is a very emotional person, someone who's more of an intellectual wants to remain alone, wants to study. Don't bother me. Let me learn. Let me become wiser. All of a sudden, Ben Zoma comes and teaches us something which is, in a sense, the opposite of what any person, any ordinary person, would understand this concept to be of a chacham. Not only is it not someone who, not necessarily someone who learned and sharpened his mind and so on and so forth, but the more you're connected with other people, the more you learn from every person, not just from your teachers, your mentors, your rabbis, your professors. Mikol Adam, from every person. What? That's called Chacham? Isn't Chacham my big ego? I'm the big smart guy. I'm the big professor. I'm the big genius. No, Ben Zoma teaches us that what is Chacham deeply, on a deeper level, on a more pnimiyut, on an inner level, not what you and I think. Ben Zoma, and the Torah perspective is always what makes a person more humble, not boastful. Not that I'm the big wise guy. Rather, how much can I learn from others? How many individuals can I tell myself at the end of the day, look at that. I've learned from this person and even from that person. We should never look down at someone. But it's quite clear some people are on different levels. And it's such a beautiful thing to be able to make someone feel like $1 million. That the person should feel, wow, I actually taught someone something. That means that I'm worth it. And you can really make a person feel very, very special. And that's what Ben Zoma teaches us. Not how many zeros you have after the one in your, not how many diplomas you have behind you in your office defines how much of a chacham you are. Rather, how many people you can learn from. And you can make them as a role model, so to speak, that they should be the ones to teach you something every day. And so, Bezrat Hashem, tomorrow, we're going to continue to learn the next part of the Mishnah. Actually, let's do one more part. I'm really enjoying it. Let's do one more part of the Mishnah. Eizehu Gibor. Who is a strong person? So once again, you look around and you go to the gym and you want to see who is the strongest person who can lift the most weights that's possible. What's the answer? If you go to the street or go to ask any regular person, that's what they would tell you. Tells you Ben Zoma, no. It's not the common understanding of the word Gibor, a strong person. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It has nothing to do. It's on some level, of course, it means someone with a large muscles, or maybe on a Torah level that can do Hagba, can lift the Torah really high and wide and open it up. That's a nice way of using your strength. But Ben Zoma teaches us, Hakovesh et Yitzro. He who conquers his inclination. In other words, Hashem created us with a Yetzer Tov, a good inclination, and a Yetzer Hara, an evil inclination. On a similar note, the Alter Anya, right in the beginning, that we have a Nefesh HaElokit, we have a godly soul, and we have a Nefesh HaBehemit, we have an animal soul. On some level, it's very similar to the concept of Yetzer Tov and Yetzer Hara. So the first thing we're going to try to understand now is that the Yetzer HaKoveshet Yitzro refers mainly to the Yetzer Hara, to the evil inclination. In other words, Hashem put us in a situation that we have naturally an animalistic soul. What does the animalistic soul mean? It's not necessarily a bad thing. It just simply draws us towards materialistic objects, just like an animal. What does an animal know? It sleeps, it eats, it plops down and continues to eat, then it runs around. There isn't really anything particularly spiritual or divine or holy, just regular animalistic stuff. That's why it's called animalistic. And so Hashem gave us challenges, and he also gave us the ability to stand up to the challenges. So if a person is in a state where they have a challenge, the answer is not, oh boy, if Hashem is giving me this challenge, then I can't help it. No. If Hashem gives a person a certain challenge, that means that he gives him the ability to overcome this challenge. Hakovesh et Yitzro. Someone who conquers the Yetzer, and that is what defines a Gibor. That is what defines a strong person. Not only someone who is physically strong, but someone who is emotionally strong, someone who is spiritually strong. And this is something which is nurtured. The more Torah we learn, the more Yiddish, Jewish experiences and celebrations and events we attend, that empowers us to be even stronger. That's called working out. Just like in materialistic strength, quote unquote, you need to work out in order to build up your muscles, your body strength, body energy. So too, our spiritual gibor, spiritual givura, spiritual strength and energy, we need to work out. And we need to develop it. We need to nurture it. And empower our godly soul to be able to overcome and conquer, so to speak, our evil inclination. So once again, just like by the Chacham, also the Gibor. The way that most of the world will interpret this word Gibor, rather, Ben Zoma is coming to teach us the Torah interpretation of this word Gibor. And therefore, we start to put on these Torah glasses, these Torah lenses, to start looking at the world and seemingly regular concepts through a Torah vision, through the prism of the Mishna. And the Mishna, the Tanaim, the Holy Torah, teach us how to make our world, even the quote-unquote mundane matters, into holy matters. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow morning, 9:15, right here on Zoom and Facebook Live. Toda Rabbi, thank you so much to all of you.